You know all those things people are telling you have to do in Disney World? Well, guess what? We've got a couple things you should not do in Disney World. These are the don'ts of Disney coming right up. Hey everybody, it's AJ for Disney Food Blog, and with all the planning that goes into a Disney trip, you can find yourself easily overloaded with things that you must do. But today we're flipping the score and telling you things that you shouldn't do, from ways to save a ton of money in the parks to experiences not to miss out on before they're gone. We've got a great list of don'ts you don't want to miss right now. All right, first one is don't forget about your MagicBands. So while you don't have to have a MagicBand in Disney World, they do make things easier. They're your room key, your park ticket, your credit card, your fast pass, all in one and right on your wrist. And there are a few things you shouldn't forget to do regarding your MagicBand before your trip. Now this is before your trip, y'all, before your trip. First, customize for everyone. You can do this through My Disney Experience, and you can choose and customize your MagicBands before your trip. You can even pick the color for free. But for an extra $10, you can customize further and upgrade to a full Disney pattern. From Star Wars to Disney snacks to other movies and more, and you'll pay $25 for those in the parks, so getting them for $10 ahead of time is a great cost and time savings. Now these have been hit or miss. Every day the selections on My Disney Experience can change because they've been selling out of certain ones ever since they debuted earlier this year. So check your My Disney Experience regularly if there's one you're searching for or waiting for. Now keep in mind when you're ready to purchase, you'll need to select all the MagicBands for your group, so be sure everyone finds something that they want. Next thing not to forget about your MagicBand, link your credit card and set a PIN number before your trip. Make sure you have that credit card tied to your MagicBand. Set those PIN numbers for each person. This will be used anytime you spend money with the MagicBand. So you can do this easily in the My Disney Experience section of the Disney World website, and it's a good thing to get sorted out before your trip, so as soon as you land and as soon as you're on property, you can start having fun. And the last thing not to forget before you go on your trip is to deactivate your old MagicBands. If you've been lucky enough to go to Disney World before and you have some old MagicBands, deactivate those bands and room keys under your profile, except the one you'll be using for each person in your group, because having more than one can confuse the system when you go to use it and cause major headaches and a trip to guest services. Doesn't happen all that often, but I can say from experience, it does happen once in a while. So if you do have time to deactivate those old bands and room keys, you'll probably want to do that. The next don't of Disney World, don't forget to link up your family members in My Disney Experience before your trip. Again, this is another headache you can avoid with just a little bit of pre-planning. And you'll remember from previous DFB Guide videos that creating a My Disney Experience account and linking up your family members in the system is the best way to be able to book fast passes and dining reservations for everyone all together before your trip. If you don't do that, then you're basically going to be trying to get individual fast passes for everyone to match up. So it's best to link everyone together first, and then you can just make one giant fast pass for everyone. And if you wait until you're on your trip, it can be a giant hassle you'll have to manage when you should be riding rides and having fun. Time is money when you are on property in Disney World. And if there are any tech glitches, you want to make sure those are taken care of before the trip begins. Plus, if you don't do all of this before your trip, it makes it much more difficult to get everyone in the same fast pass reservation window, like I said. So it can take some time and effort. So give yourself some time before your trip to do this. There's a lot of entering email addresses and clicking links to authorized connections and all of that, and Aunt Susan has to make sure she's linked up. So be sure to do this for your whole group before your 60 to 30 day window opens for your fast pass booking. Next don't of Disney World, don't pay full price in the gift shops. So Disney has a handful of ways to get cheaper merchandise throughout the gift shops, and you need to know about it because you know you're going to be buying those souvenirs when you're there. First up, annual pass discounts. Consider an annual pass for one person in your group. We've talked about this before on the channel. We've even broken down if it makes sense for one person to get an annual pass financially. You can go check out those videos as well. But if someone does have an annual pass in your group, you can get free photo pass services throughout your trip, but also 20% merchandise discounts at most gift shops, and those savings can add up really, really quickly. And don't forget, you can also buy things like bottled water, packaged snacks, and things like that at those gift shops and get your 20% discount on those as well. All right, next way to not pay full price at the merchandise locations is receipt discounts. Now, this isn't a guarantee, but you should always check your receipts for counter service locations. Disney will often put a 20% off coupon at the bottom of the quick service meal receipt, and that offers a discount in gift shops in that park if used at certain times, like before 1 p.m. This often happens when people dine at off hours, and it's an incentive for guests to avoid peak meal times. So if you dine at an off hour, you might get a merchandise discount on your receipt. Now, even though you may have to buy your souvenirs earlier in the day to take advantage of this, if you're at a Disney resort and not checking out within the next 2 days, you can use that package delivery service that we talk about, which in effect is having your items sent directly to your hotel so you can pick them up later. And if you don't have 2 more days, send the items to the front of the park to pick up before you leave for the day. Each park has a designated spot to retrieve your packages so you don't have to carry them around all day long. And Epcot has one at both the front and the International Gateway entrances. Another way to avoid paying full price in those souvenir shops is looking for merchandise discounts that are right there displayed. Disney has to clear their shelves too, so if you're traveling at the end of a season, you'll often find major discounts on Disney merchandise. So Epcot food and wine merch will go on sale toward the end of the festival, holiday and seasonal merch will go on sale toward the end of the season, movie-themed merch will go on sale after the movie has come out, etc. So look for those discounts. They'll be marked with signage, or you can ask cast members what's on sale right now when you go into a merch location. Next don't of Disney World, don't pay full price for food you don't want. This may sound obvious, but Disney doesn't really advertise this, and it's a super great secret tip when you're paying out of pocket for a meal versus using a Disney dining plan credit. And not enough people know about it or use it. So here's how it works. When you order a Disney counter service meal but don't want a part of it, like the side item, you can customize your meal and pay less money. So for example, if you order a bacon cheeseburger but don't want the bacon or french fries or apple slices, etc., just say so. This can knock some cash off the cost of your meal in most cases. So if you don't want the sides, specify that you want the entree item only, and you'll get it for less. Now, mileage can of course vary here. Everything is up for grabs in Disney World, but in general, cast members can ring up your meal price to be reflective of a more a la carte situation. So the menu will not indicate that you can do this, but you can ask and often be accommodated. Also, here's another save money on food hack, the Disney Dining Plan counter service hack. If you're looking for a better value on the dining plan and have kiddos in tow, remember at any quick service location, you can order an adult meal for your children with the Disney Dining Plan Kids quick service credit. So if they want chicken tenders, order 1 adult meal of chicken tenders with the kids quick service credit and have 2 kids split it. That saves you a whole credit to use later. All right, next don't in Disney World, don't waste your Disney Dining Plan snack credits. You guys know our policy is no credit left behind. This is for the Disney Dining Plan folks out there, and the DDP snack credits cover a wide variety of items. So while most are about $4 to $5, there are a few hidden gems in the $8 zone. And the Epcot Festival menu items can offer your biggest bang for the buck most of the time. Those are going to be the most expensive snack credit items in a lot of cases. So a good example here, the cookies and cream funnel cake from Epic Eats in Hollywood Studios is $8.49, and surprisingly, it is snack credit eligible. So this is a ton of food, a funnel cake, ice cream, Oreos, cookie crumbs, chocolate syrup. Your whole family could easily share this thing. A family of 4 could share this. That can be your sweet snack for the afternoon, and it's only 1 snack credit. Other great ways to max out the value of your snack credits: if you're in Epcot during the Food and Wine Festival or any festival, you can use your credits on most food items at those booths. Go to the Canada booth, get the Le Cellier filet mignon, and yes, you are having filet mignon as your snack on the Disney Dining Plan. Also, check out portion sizes for the snacks. Many can be almost meal-sized and really shareable even if they're not tipping the price scale. So cupcakes around Disney World, like at Main Street Bakery or Boardwalk Bakery, for instance, are huge. They're twice the size of a normal cupcake, so those can easily be shared between a couple of people. And many snacks in Animal Kingdom, like the pulled pork cheese fries at Flame Tree Barbecue, are almost full-sized entrees and can easily be shared. So we've got a lot of suggestions for ways to not waste your Disney Dining Plan snack credits here on the channel. We've got lots of snack videos that you should check out, and as always, head over to dfbstore.com. We actually have snack guides for every single park in Walt Disney World, where we talk about every snack we know about in those parks, and we give you a review, pricing details, snack credit information for all of those snacks in the park. So that's a great way to pre-plan what snacks you're going to get so that you don't waste your Disney Dining Plan snack credits. All right, next don't of Disney World, don't ride in the wrong seat. Believe it or not, you get a completely different ride depending on what seat you occupy on many Disney attractions. So be sure to request your preferred location when you're waiting in line for that attraction and you're about to be directed to a particular seat. Here's a few examples. Roller coasters are going to offer a smoother ride in the front and a crazier ride in the back. So the more a coaster whips around curves and corners, the more this is true. It especially goes for Big Thunder Mountain and Expedition Everest. And even Rock and Roller Coaster and Slinky Dog Dash are affected by this to a point, though those two are smoother across the board than the previously mentioned coasters. But if you're traveling with a little kid who's maybe new to coasters, sit in the front. It's going to be a smoother, slower ride for them than if you sit in the very last row. Now, sitting in the front and on the right-hand side of the log on Splash Mountain is usually going to put you in the splash zone based on a few elements of the ride. Also, sitting in the center of the second row on Soarin' will usually give you the least distorted view of the film. If you sit all the way to the right or the left, due to the curvature of the screen, some of the buildings can look tilted or skewed. Sitting in the middle of the second row is going to give you the best view of that particular ride, but sitting in the first row means you don't have to look at a bunch of feet the whole time, so there is that. Next don't of Disney World, don't miss your last chance to see IllumiNations. Now, you guys know there's a lot of stuff closing and transitioning in Epcot right now. There's a lot of new rides coming and replacing old attractions. And IllumiNations is the nighttime spectacular that many of us have grown up with, and it's ending its 19-year run as the nighttime fireworks spectacular at Epcot on September 30th this year. So starting October 1st, Epcot Forever will take its place. This show will be a salute to the older rides and songs of Epcot's history, and Harmonious will become the new nighttime spectacular in 2020. But this is your last chance to see IllumiNations. And thanks to the layout of the World Showcase Lagoon, just about anywhere around the lagoon is a good spot to view it. Now for a bonus viewing, grab an advanced dining reservation at a restaurant with a view, book for around 8 o'clock p.m. so you can just be finishing up when IllumiNations begins. Don't forget to request a fireworks view table when you check in. They can't guarantee it, but if you request it, you're more likely to get it than if you don't. So some of our favorite spots are La Hacienda de San Angel or Spice Road Table. They both have great full-length windows or even outdoor seating so that you can see everything. Don't forget they dim the lights and play the soundtrack so you can enjoy the show while you eat. It's a great chance to say goodbye to IllumiNations. And Rose and Crown is also offering a special IllumiNations meal, so you can go ahead and book that, and then you get sort of guaranteed view seating for that particular show. Next don't of Disney World, don't run out of phone battery. Let's say you're watching IllumiNations and you want to snap a few pictures, but at the end of a long day at Disney, between taking photos and checking your My Disney experience constantly, chances are you'll be in desperate need for some more juice by the end of the day. So if you have a charger in your bag, you can often find many spots with plugs for people to recharge around the parks. There are even some hidden chargers in spots like the Tangled restrooms in Magic Kingdom, and in the hallway behind Club Cool, you can find chargers built into the sofas there. Now the newest Disney buses featuring the Sensational 6 now have great charging ports under the seats, so if you hop on the bus, go ahead and charge up. Just don't forget your plug when you get off. And if all else fails, buy a fuel rod. So fuel rod machines are popping up more and more around the Disney parks and resorts, and for $30 you'll get a full charged battery and all necessary cords to fit most popular phones. Simply charge up, and when your fuel rod is dead, drop it in a fuel rod machine and you'll get a new fully charged fuel rod for free. So these are super convenient and not limited to the Disney parks. You'll find them at other amusement parks, malls, airports, so you can get more mileage out of it than just when you're at Disney. And don't forget, you can always bring your own external charger. I do this. I travel with a giant external charger all the time, just so that I don't miss the opportunity to film or to take photos when I need to. Next don't of Disney, don't forget the shortcuts. You can often find yourself walking so much, sometimes even 10 miles per day at Disney, so don't be harder on your feet than you have to. There's a number of shortcuts in the parks that surprisingly can go overlooked, and people are walking all the way around when they don't have to. So here are a few examples in Magic Kingdom specifically. First, the potty pass-through. I like to call this the potty pass-through. There are restrooms located in an underpass between Frontierland and Adventureland, so find those restrooms on the map and you've found the shortcut. Also, there's another shortcut right between Country Bear Jamboree on the Frontierland side and Aloha Isle on the Adventureland side. So that's another way to not have to go all the way around over to Splash Mountain and back if you're just trying to get from Frontierland to Adventureland. Now, speaking of Frontierland, if you're headed between Liberty Square and Splash Mountain or Big Thunder Mountain, take the walkway down by the river instead of the main Frontierland thoroughfare. So this may only be slightly faster, but it is certainly less crowded and the majority is shaded by trees. So this is a great route to blow through Frontierland more quickly. And you can also get between Tomorrowland and Main Street more quickly by turning right at the end of Main Street, right by the Plaza Ice Cream Parlor, and cutting through Tomorrowland Terrace's seating area. This walkway is a less trafficked, slightly quicker route. Now, there are other shortcuts in Epcot and other parks, so check the maps before you head into the parks and make sure your route is planned so that you're not maybe walking that many more steps than you have to. Now, of course, we're not afraid of walking here at DFB, but that also means you get to cover more ground when it comes to rides, attractions, and other things that you want to do in the parks. Next don't of Disney, don't rush out of the park. So at the end of a long day at Disney, all the crowds are going to file to the exits and begin the long journey back to their resort. They may be waiting through 2 or 3 buses, waiting for 2 or 3 monorails. Don't be one of those people. If you're just going to be standing there in line, use that time more advantageously. So hang back in the park. The gift shops in the park stay open up to an hour after park close. So stroll through the Emporium, knock out some souvenir shopping, then head to your transportation after the hordes have fought their way onto the buses and monorails. If you don't have any shopping to do, just hang out in the park, wander around, take some great photos. The crowds will have died down dramatically pretty quickly, and you can snap a few pictures in a much emptier park. You can finally get that great nighttime Millennium Falcon shot with your new lightsaber, for example. And then you can easily snag a stress-free seat on a bus or monorail home, so no standing room only required. Win-win. And our last don't of Disney, don't stress if you get sick. It happens. Either you show up at Disney and that cold you've been fighting finally catches up with you, or maybe your kid has an ear infection or something like that. Life happens, even at Disney, but you're not stranded. If it's something more minor, head to a first aid center. Each park has one, and you'll be shocked at how accommodating and well-stocked they are. There, you can get a variety of over-the-counter medications, Band-Aids, Powerade, and more, usually for free. And if something more serious is going on, try calling your doctor back home. If they can call in a prescription, or if there's something the first aid center doesn't carry, call an Uber or Lyft. There are several pharmacies just outside Disney World gates, and the trip will likely cost under $10 each way. No way to get to a pharmacy? There are a few pharmacy delivery services in the area that cater to Disney World guests, but be forewarned, they won't come cheap. Prescriptions will likely be costlier than if you were at your home pharmacy, but they do deliver 24 hours a day to your resort lobby. And if worst comes to worst, there are of course urgent care centers and even a close by emergency room over there in Celebration that you can take advantage of if needed. Disney cast members will help you. Don't be afraid to ask. They'll make sure that you get where you need to go to take care of whatever happens. So don't stress, don't have anxiety over getting sick in Disney World. If it happens, and you'll take care of it. I believe in you. Now, hopefully some of these tips will help to ensure you save just a little bit of your time and money at Disney World, or will make your trip go much more smoothly. So what do you think? Do any of these surprise you? Were any of these don't do's on your list? Let us know your experiences in the comments with these, and we want to hear your don'ts of Disney World. We can't wait to see what you guys have to say. We love when you share your experiences with us from your Disney trips. Thank you guys for listening, and thanks for watching. This is AJ for Disney Food Blog, and we'll see you real soon.